Hi guys, welcome to the show. It's Kara with Today's Living, and we're going to do a tasty treat today called cream puffs. Now, a lot of you may think that cream puffs are difficult, but they are so super duper easy and take staple items to make. And I mean staple items as in everything that you have in your cabinet, you can make these with. First thing, we're going to do sugar, flour, eggs, butter, water, salt. I've got Cool Whip, and I've got pudding. And these are some basic things. These are going to make the filling, so I'm actually going to set those aside. I just wanted you to kind of know one of the things we fill it with. And again, you can fill it with chocolate pudding. I'm going to actually do, since we're doing these for Thanksgiving, I'm going to do whipped cream, vanilla pudding, and then some cranberry relish that I made, which is in another video. I'm going to mix it all in and use that for the filling of my cream puffs, which is going to be OMG. And then you want a little powdered sugar for sprinkling your cream puffs if you would like. And one more tip, you can make these ahead, freeze them for up to 30 days so that when you're ready, just throw them in the fridge to defrost, slice them open, and stuff it with whatever filling. Now let's get started. Let's begin. Let's add our 1 cup of water, and we're going to bring this to a low boil. We're going to add 1 stick of butter to this. This is already softened because I'm doing a lot of baking in preparation for Thanksgiving. So it'll actually cook a little bit faster, and it's at room temperature. We're going to do a ½ teaspoon of salt. Pour this here. And then a full teaspoon of sugar, and that's white sugar that we are using. I've been cooking so much I have to make sure that my oven is not still hot. So let's do this. I actually am using 1 measuring cup because I've got so many dirty. There we go. A little more. I kind of like it sweet. Sorry guys. You go ahead and use the teaspoon. I'm going to do a smidge more than a teaspoon. And now we are going to bring this to a boil. And a watch pot never cooks, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, it has come to a boil and it's all blended and mixed well, so I'm going to add 1 1/4 cup flour. Made with love, you know. And this recipe is such a cinch, and it's so funny that nobody makes these anymore because you could fill them with everything. This is the basic recipe for eclairs and all different types of pastries. So we've got it in here. I've turned it off of the oven, the stove, sorry about that. And we're just going to stir it until it starts to pull away from the sides, meaning that it's getting a little sticky. And then the last thing we do is add the eggs. Now, if you want to use a mixer, you certainly can. I'm not. You know, I'm going to use it in the bag holder. You know why else? Because I'm going to be able to snip the tip method and put it right on the baking dish. So as I stir this, before we add the eggs, I will turn you off and see you in a minute. We're going to add the 4 eggs. That was it. Now, I know I told you 5 eggs, and that is, we're using 1 egg for the egg wash to make the puffs shiny and pretty and beautiful and wanting to gobble them up. So we're going to do these 4 eggs. Now look, there's a ton of recipes out there to make it complicated and add this egg and cut your butter. I don't have time for that. In the end, in this recipe, it's going to taste fabulous no matter what I do. And I don't need to transfer it into a bowl and then a mixer and all that. I just threw my 4 eggs in. Basically the dough started to separate, and I am going to mix it just like this. Now, like I said, I'm going to finish this using a bag holder. So I'm just going to start to blend it here, and then I'm going to pour this in the bag with the bag holder, seal, and mix it. And it's going to be delicious. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour this, and this doesn't look too tasty, but it's going to look really tasty when we're done mixing it. Just like that. We'll pop that in the sink. And let me show you this. I can use the side of the bag, look how awesome that is, to scrape off the spoon. Now we're going to remove the bag, seal it, so that I can start mixing it. Use my hands as the mixer, and I can do this in half the time that you take. By the time you're getting your mixer out and plugged in, I'm going to be done making the batter for these cream puffs. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Again, yay! And the beauty is what I'm going to do when I've got this done is I'm going to create a piping bag, a pastry bag, right in the same bag. So again, minimize the steps, the mess, etc. Now once this starts to, now if you're using a bowl, bah humbug, but once it starts to pull away and it starts to peak, like it's getting sticky as you stir it, you're right on cue to be getting ready to do the cream puffs. Now for me, if you're making it in a bag, once it starts to feel a little tougher to stir or blend, you're not stirring, once it starts to feel a little tougher to mix, you're going to be able to see that it's about time to do the batter. And I'll kind of show you. Let's see if I can show you. Do you see how that is? The sticky kind of at the top? And how long have we been talking? What, 30 seconds? Time it. And it's almost done. I'm going to do it a little bit longer. And I'm going to get my baking sheet with parchment paper, put parchment paper on it to make your, again, mess minimal. And I'll see you in a minute. To create a piping bag, you've got it in the bag, and you can use this for icings and any type of batters like pancakes, waffles, doughs, etc. that are moist that you can just squeeze out. But we've got the mix in the bag. We mix it right in here. Basically, I create an accordion style here. That's easy to handle so that I know how to grab it. Pull one end of the bag up and shake whatever the batter is to the other corner of the bag. And you can clearly see we've got a piping bag built in one step. Now all I have to do is turn whatever the batter is upside down, and I make a hole for the corner. I clear any type of batter right out of the way and cut it. Now depending on the thickness of the batter or icing, etc., sometimes you want the hole really thin, like if you're going to use this to ice and maybe draw pictures, or something like this, I made a much thicker or wider hole. And look at this. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. And do you see how smooth this is? Look, I'm telling you, you do not need all those fancy $300 KitchenAid mixers. This does the exact same thing because your hands were made for working, mixing, mashing, and piping. We're just going to go right through here. And these are going to be beautiful when they come out because it's all the same. It's universal. And did you see how many dishes I got dirty? I got 1 pot, 1 spoon, and that's it. And this pan won't even be dirty because I've got it lined with parchment paper. So I've got batter left, and the beauty is all I have to do while I'm waiting for the batter to use this dish is I just fold it up with the hole facing upwards. Sorry about that, and set it down. See? Now we're going to pop these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. So I just finished mixing this. It's only been a couple minutes, but look, you can tell once it's it's ready to mix and pipe, it pulls away from the bag completely. Do you see that? And I fiddled with this maybe a minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to create a pastry bag that we can just pipe it right on here. Let's make the filling while we are waiting for the cream puffs. Now we're just going to use a vanilla pudding, and I'm going to tell you this, you can use any type of pudding you want. This makes it simple. You can use butterscotch. Also because of the color, it would be fun for Thanksgiving. You can mix this with whipped cream, or we're going to mix it with whipped cream. Whatever you make, you're going to mix with whipped cream. But we're going to do, for the purpose of Thanksgiving, make a vanilla pudding with whipped cream and going to add a cranberry relish inside to whip it all up. And it's not only going to be beautiful, but it's going to be so tasty. So let's pour this in here. I've got a larger pack because afterwards what we don't use is still going to be really, really tasty for all of our guests. So if somebody doesn't want the cream puff, they can just have the pudding. We're going to do this. Now we follow the directions. This is not brain surgery. So empty the package, follow the directions. It calls for 3 cups milk. This is not any recipe that I created. They created it for us. And then like I said, we're doing it in the bag because we're going to minimize the steps. We've got that. And we've got another cup. That totals 3 cups. And in about 5 or 10 minutes, this is going to be solid. And that's when we'll add the ingredients. All I have to do, again, suck out the air, seal it, mix it up. You see that? Done. That's it. So simple. Why are you not using bags in a bag holder? Do you see anything that, there's one little extra piece, extra flavorful area, but it's mixed, it's done. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge, and then we're gonna make our, finish the sauce. But I wanna show you because I'm getting distracted. Hello, do those look amazing? Can you smell that? Yummy. So we'll see you in a few. I just pulled the pudding out of the fridge and it's starting to solidify. But I'm going to do 2 different fillings because sometimes kids don't like fruit. And there's some adults that don't like fruit, like my husband. So I'm going to make a plain Jane cream puff, traditional yummy cream puff. And then I'm doing one that's cranberry, with a cranberry relish. So basically what I'm going to do is just use my spoon to break them down, to divide them, using 2 bags, just like this. See? And I'm going to lick that spoon because the pudding is so good. And then we're going to do about a quarter of whipped cream, a quarter tub here. And then we're going to do about a quarter of a tub here. And the rest you can save for your pumpkin or pecan pie. And this one, I'm going to do about a quarter cup here. Let me see, I just lost my measuring cup, so we're going to measure. I've used it and threw it in the washer. We're going to do about a quarter cup, and this is a cranberry relish. If you don't have one, look, I make the best there is. Well, at least I think so. Go make it. You can follow the recipe, and it's made in like 5 minutes. No joke. And it's all from scratch. So let's do this one. And again, we're going to put these in the fridge to get it a little harder, but we're going to mix it first. And this is so pretty. Do you see how this starts to turn colors? This is really, really beautiful, stuffed inside those cream puffs. And I want to tell you, while we're working with the cranberries now, a lot of people think only Christmas. No, 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 no. I mean, only Thanksgiving. No, you should make a cream puff Christmas tree out of this, and then out of that filling. And if you don't want the pudding, just do whipped cream in the cranberries. That is absolutely fine. Again, it's whatever fits your family's taste. Mix this up. Yummy, 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 yummy. And again, we're going to sprinkle these. Once they're stuffed, we're going to sprinkle it with powdered sugar. So I'm going to pop these in the fridge for about another 5 or 10 minutes. As you can see, these cream puffs are absolutely delicious looking, and I'll tell you, they taste it too. Now, I'm going to cut the center. I use scissors just to make it simple, less crumbs. So just use a small pair of scissors and cut it out so that you can easily fill them. As the pudding is starting to solidify, we're going to finish using the batter to make the cream puffs. Now I want to show you these cream puffs we just took out. These are the ones that I showed you initially. I did use an egg wash with these. Now these I'm not going to use an egg wash, and then you can decide what you'd rather do to serve. In my opinion, it does not make that much a difference on the cream puffs, but if you're making like eclairs or some sort of filled pastry, sometimes it does look nice, or it just depends. And again, you can see how easy it is to do these and how pretty they look when, I think I can get one more out of this. How pretty they look when they all come out. Oh, nope, this is one that's gonna have to be just a little niblet. And you can see I have used pretty much every drip of the batter that's in the bag. So nothing is getting wasted. This one I'm gonna have to eat once I've done cooking it. So we'll put these in the oven. We've got the pudding going, and then we're gonna add our filling, the remainder of the filling, which is going to be this Cool Whip and cranberry, homemade cranberry relish. We have sliced our cream puffs, and they're so good. And now we're gonna fill them. And you remember that we did the 2 fillings. We're gonna start with the vanilla. And again, we're doing our piping bag. If you don't know how to do it, watch another video. But I'm going to do this and then cut the tip off and then fill them. Look at this. Yummy. And the beauty is, if I'm going to serve these, I can put these in the freezer so that the pudding stays firm, and then you're just gonna pop the top. Isn't that neat? Pop the top. There we go. Don't those look delicious? Can you see this? Can you see it? Hello, yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, let's do the cranberry one and see if it looks as delicious. And again, we're gonna make our little tiny piping bag. And snip the tip. Simple, simple. And we're going to fill these. And this is a little bit thicker because the cranberry sauce. But look at this, how yummy. All right, so what you can do now, oh, there, let me get that cranberry out of there. What you can do now is you're gonna pop the lid on here, and they're so delicious. And then you're going to sprinkle them with powdered sugar. So let me get them situated on a beautiful tray, and we will sprinkle them. Licking my fingers, delicious. Okay, they're finished, they're layered, they're stacked. Now I'm gonna show you in a later video, but just to give you an idea, if you make a ton of these and freeze them, you can use these to make a Christmas tree design. I'm sure you've seen it. But all I need to do now is sprinkle them with powdered sugar, set them out, and they will be gobbled up. Guys, thanks for joining us. See us at facebook.com/TLFamily, facebook.com/bagholder, because this is the easiest way to ever make them. And please check out our new blog at todaysliving.net. See you soon.